The banned and restricted list update has really shaken up the secondary market. You're not going to want to miss this episode of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. This video is sponsored by Flipside Gaming. Check out flipsidegaming.com for all your gaming needs. Right now you can pre-order Innistrad Remastered, Ether Drift, or find a vast number of other great items on their website. Remember, shipping is free in the US if your order's over $100 or consists only of singles. Just look in the description or the comment section below for direct links to their site. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to another edition of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. Like I said in the cold open, the banned and restricted list update occurred this week, and we are seeing some huge price spikes because of it. As always, our hot list is based on two pieces of criteria: the percentage increase in the value of the cards, and an increase in the number of sales from week to week. Quickly before we get into the top 10, just one fast thing. I do want to say thank you to one of our gold patrons, and that is Coty. Coty, thank you so much for all your support on Patreon. It really goes a long way. Can't thank you enough. I truly couldn't do this without viewers like yourself. So thank you again, Coty. And now, without any further ado, let's get into it. Number 10, Soulstone Sanctuary, up $1.21 to $2.71. That's an 81% increase. This Magic Foundations card is moving up, even though tons of packs of that product have been opened, which does say something. Soulstone Sanctuary has been getting a ton of standard play. This is found in two of the biggest decks in the format currently, Dimir Midrange and Golgari Midrange. You see it in other standard builds too though, like Mono Black Midrange, Dimir Fairies, and Orzhov Midrange. Over in Commander, this card is seeing play in several builds, both old and new. For example, it is in decks around one of the Marvel Secret Lair cards, Black Panther Wakandan King, and around Shrufus Sproutsire from Magic Foundation's Jumpstart. Ultimately though, those standard Dimir and Golgari Midrange builds are the key drivers for Soulstone Sanctuary's price increase this week. Number 9, Gaia's Touch, up $1.50 to $3.49. That's a 75% increase. This one-print wonder from the Dark was printed way back in 1994, and it does see a little Commander and 1v1 dual Commander play. The reason it's spiking is because it is a hard-to-find card that actually is getting a bump in Commander play now, thanks to one of the offerings from Magic Foundations. Gaia's Touch has been appearing in some builds around Loot, Exuberant Explorer. Number 8, Fear of Missing Out, of $1.59 to $5. That's a 47% increase. The official card of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch has been seeing play in multiple formats, but it's a modern brew that's causing the card to spike this week. Remember when I said there was a banned and restricted list update earlier in the week? Well, Splinter Twin has finally become unbanned in Modern, and a lot of players have been brewing new decks around that card. Some are using 4 copies of Fear of Missing Out in Is It Splinter Twin builds. The idea is that you play Fear of Missing Out and enchant it with Splinter Twin. At that point, as long as you have Delirium, you can go infinite with attack phases. Now, this combo is more fragile than Splinter Twin and Pestermite or Deceiver Exarch, so time will tell how many copies of Fear of Missing Out should be in a Splinter Twin deck, if any. Right now, though, lots of players and speculators are paying attention to the card due to its potential impact on the Modern format. Even if it ultimately does not find a home in Is It Splinter Twin, it's in other Modern decks like Rakdos Delirium, Jund Delirium, Hollow One, and Jund Aggro. In Standard, you see it in Gruul Delirium, Jeskai Arcanus Cauldron, Rakdos Sacrifice, and Reanimator builds. Over in Pioneer, the card appears in Mardu Greasefang and sometimes Rakdos Midrange. Fear of Missing Out gets Commander play too in some different builds. Most are around newer cards like Arabella Abandoned Doll, and the Jolly Balloon Man from Duskmourn, Alesha Who Laughs at Fate from Magic Foundations, Ivora Insatiable Air from Magic Foundation's Jumpstart, and Storm Force of Nature, which is one of the Marvel Secret Lair cards. Number 7, The Odd Acorn Gang, up $1.62 to $4.53. That's a 56% increase. This is the foil copy that comes in the Squirreled Away Commander deck. It occasionally sees Commander play as a Commander, but typically this appears as part of the 99 of Squirrel builds. The most popular deck that runs it is around Chatterfang Squirrel General, which was reprinted in Squirreled Away. It's also in decks around the front-facing Commander from its precon Hazel of the Root Bloom, and Camilla the Seed Miser from the Bloomburrow main set. Now that some time has passed since the release of Bloomburrow, we are seeing key Commander Squirrel cards like the Odd Acorn Gang increasing in price as supply gets tighter. Number 6 is Arclight Phoenix. The Ravnica Remastered copy goes up $1.14 to $3.17. That's a 56% increase. The Guilds of Ravnica copy, though, up $4.44 to $5.93. That's a 298% increase. Pioneer Izzet Phoenix decks have been solid in the format for quite some time, but the modern versions have struggled. Many believe that's about to change because of another card that was unbanned in the format. The Banned and Restricted List update this week also announced Faithless Looting's unbanning in the format, which means Izzet and Mono Red Phoenix builds are getting a big boost. How good will they be in the new meta? Time will tell, but right now players and speculators are very interested in getting copies of Arclight Phoenix. There is a chance that builds around this card could become top tier. Before we get into the top 5, just a fast reminder, this video is sponsored by Flipside Gaming. Check out flipsidegaming.com for all your gaming needs. Right now you can pre-order Innistrad Remastered, Ether Drift, or find any number of other great items on their website, Magic related or otherwise. Remember, if your order is over $100 or consists only of singles, shipping will be free in the United States. And if you're looking for a direct link to their site, just check out the description or the comment section below. I do have links posted in both of those places. And now, without any further ado, let's get to the top 5. Coming in at number 5 is Demi-Lich, up 1224 to 1324. That is a 1,224% increase if you're doing the math at home. This card hasn't been seeing all that much play. Occasionally someone will try it in Pioneer Izzet Phoenix, but it hasn't gained much traction there. Now, however, with the unbanning of Faithless Looting in Modern, many are brewing new Modern Izzet Phoenix builds, and including 4 copies of Demi-Lich. I don't know if it will be better than Thing and the Ice in those builds, but we'll see. Faithless Looting does make this card and Phoenix decks in general better, that's for sure. Obviously, players and speculators are buying this out everywhere now, and that is why you're seeing this extreme price spike. Number 4 is Splinter Twin. The Modern Masters 2015 copy goes up $18.01 to $25. That is a 258% increase. The one from the list of $19.75 to $28.50. That's a 226% increase. And the original Rise of the Eldrazi copy goes up $22.17 to $29.17. That is a 317% increase. This has been seeing a little Commander play. In fact, it recently got a small bump in play there and builds around a card from Duskmourn, the Jolly Balloon Man. Alright, I buried the lead long enough. Clearly this is spiking because it has been unbanned in Modern. For years this card used to spike before every banned and restricted list update due to speculation that it would become unbanned, and now it has finally happened. So far I have seen some Izzet and Temur Splinter Twin brews. I've also seen this card appear in versions of Boros Energy and Crixus Midrange. How will these decks perform in the 2025 Modern meta? We're about to find out, but again, right now players and speculators are picking up copies quickly and prices are spiking. Coming in at number 3 is Tamiyo Inquisitive Student, up $28.92 to $48.98. That's a 144% increase. This has been seeing play in multiple formats since its release, but now the Banned and Restricted List update is impacting the price of this card too. Let's start with Modern. 3 of the unbanned cards have really made this more desirable. Tamiyo turns to its Planeswalker side immediately when you play the newly unbanned Faithless Looting. It's good in Splinter Twin builds, and it can create clue tokens, so Tamiyo synergizes with another big card that was unbanned in the format this week, Mox Opal. You are seeing new versions of Izzet and Temur Grinding Station Breach playing both Tamiyo and Mox Opal. I've also seen some trying to work them both into affinity builds, but I think Temur Grinding Station Breach may be one of the top tier decks next year in Modern. Tamiyo has been in the new Izzet Splinter Twin decks, and the card has been appearing with Faithless Looting in some versions of Izzet Phoenix, as well as Grixis Murktide and Grixis Reanimator. Plus, this still sees play in Modern Izzet Control. Clearly, the Modern changes are the key driver for the spike, but Tamiyo is still good in other formats too. Legacy has been shaken up with the banning of Psychic Frog and Vexing Bauble. There you see this card in Stifle Knot, Jeskai Control, Dimir Tempo, Mono Blue Tempo, Izzet Delver, and Beanstalk Control builds. Tamiyo also appears in 1v1 Commander and Regular Commander. In Regular Commander, it sees play as both a Commander and in the 99 of a few builds, like Morska Undersea Sleuth for example. This is definitely a card to keep an eye on. Number 2, Green Sun Zenith. The Eternal Masters copy goes up $27.33 to $38.85. That is a 237% increase. The Double Masters 2022 copy up $28.63 to $40. That's a 252% increase. And the original Mirrored and Besieged copy is up $30.24 to $41.24. That is a 275% increase. Well, this was also unbanned in Modern this week with the Banned and Restricted List update. Players and speculators are after copies of the card, which is why you're seeing yet another very aggressive spike. Some players are already working this into their Amulet Titan as well as Yawgmoth builds, and to a lesser degree it's making its way into decks like Kylgari Elves, Omnith builds, Kethis Combo, Sam Combo, and Venerated Rot Priest. Also, Green Sun Zenith is another card that may have a chance to thrive in Legacy due to the shakeup we saw there. It's in decks in that format like Elves, Nadu Combo, Cradle Control, Mavericks, Selesnya Depths, Blue Zenith, Band Control, and Nick Fit. And the card also gets played quite a bit in both 1v1 Duel and regular Commander. In regular Commander, this is in decks like Kinnan Bonder Prodigy, Lathro Blade of the Elves, and many others. And finally, coming in at number 1 is Mox Opal, the Double Masters copy, up $74.15 to $159.98. That's an 88% increase. The Modern Masters 2015 copy, up $83.05 to $164.99. That is a 101% increase. And the original Scars of Mirrodin copy, up $101 to $185.95. That is a 119% increase. Wow. So anyway, if you've been paying attention, this probably isn't too surprising. As we discussed earlier, this has now been unbanned in Modern, and players as well as speculators are trying to grab copies. This is already showing up all over in Modern. It's now in decks like Affinity, Temur Grinding Station Breach, Is It Grinding Station Breach, Hammer Time, Mono Green Basking Brood Scale Combo, Hardened Scales, Song of Creation, Lantern, and Asmo Food. We'll have to see what sticks and which decks rise to the top. Again, I think Temur Grinding Station Breach and or Affinity may take off, but time will tell. This also appears in the Shaken Up Legacy format. There you see it in Painter, the Epic Storm, Besieged Storm, Mystic Forge Combo, 8-cast, and Simulacrum artifacts. The card gets a lot of vintage play too in Lurrus Paradoxical Outcome, Regular Paradoxical Outcome, and 8-cast. Plus, Mox Opal has a presence in Commander. You see this in lots of decks like Urzalor High Artificer, for example. In fact, it's even gotten a bump in play there recently in a couple new builds. One around Storm Force of Nature from Marvel's Secret Lairs, and one around Plagon Lord of the Beach from Magic Foundation's Jumpstart. Of course, though, it was the Modern news that really drove Mox Opal's price spike this week. With that being said, that is going to do it for this episode of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. Now, tomorrow we're going to be back. We're going to be looking at the top 10 cold cards, so you don't want to miss that video. Also, a quick programming note. Next week we won't have any videos since it is the holidays, but we will return the following week. Until next time, though, have a happy holiday season. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.